Well, time now for our second What's Happening at the Club this summer, and it's an academy special with head of football Mark Robinson. Last summer, of course, you were fortunate to take the squad away to Spain and face the likes of Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Little bit different this summer, Robbo, closer to home. Tell us about it.
Yeah, very different, Rob. As you know, I wasn't quite happy with some of the lads last year and some of the things sort of we experienced and that. So this year we're actually staying on site. We're staying at the training ground for a week, so we're back in on the Wednesday. We got a few days before then, so we're doing some testing. And then on the Monday, the boys are going to arrive Sunday evening, and we're actually staying on site for a week. So we'll be sleeping on site on air beds. Got various things lined up for them. They're going to be doing their own cooking, their own washing. Obviously, nice long days. So that's the plan.
And you've got some guest speakers lined up. It's some good ones as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of things lined up. So obviously, as well as training and doing the sessions, it allows us to do double sessions when we need be. I've got people coming in the evening, so I've got a nutritionist coming in on the Sunday to talk to the boys about nutrition, and the boys are then going to do their own shopping on the back of that. But obviously, it'll be stuff that help them for the rest of the season. Got a sports psychologist coming in on the Monday. I've got a guy who's a specialist in flexibility. So obviously, we want the boys to be as fit as possibly they can, but we don't want to break down. So we're kind of massive on stretching and looking after themselves. So we've got a guy coming in to do a flexibility session with them and talk about the importance of flexibility in terms of injury prevention. And then we've got Kevin Webber coming in, obviously a Wimbledon fan, to talk about his experiences and how he pushes himself and stuff, which would be really, really good. And then I'm also looking at bringing two Wimbledon fans to come in just to talk about what they expect of a Wimbledon player when you put on the Wimbledon shirt. And they've also got a guy coming in from the army as well to talk about his experiences in the army, and he's bringing some of his equipment in. So yeah, it's going to be a fully packed week.
So you're hopeful that not only it stands them in good stead as young players of AFC Wimbledon, but also for the future, for their future lives.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I go on coaching courses, seminars, all youth coaches are moaning now about young people, and modern life is not giving them the things that they need, the tools that they need, and it's true. It's a real problem. But you either sit and moan about it, or you do something about it. And what you've got to remember, it's not their fault. It's society as it is today, and and the mobile phones and sort of social media and all this stuff, it does bring problems. But as I said, so rather than moan, you've got to educate the lads and say, listen, if you want to be a professional footballer, these are the things that you need. It's a social game, and obviously you've got to be as fit as a fiddle and all those kind of things. So you've got to educate them for what they want to do and the best way to do it, and that's exactly what we're doing. We have a strong culture in the academy, as you know. No, it's just about taking it up another level to get the best out of these boys.
They're important life skills, and it teaches them to be independent as well, doesn't it?
Massively, which is so key. I've always found it strange in football anyway. People talk about professionalism and we do everything for players, yet when they go on the pitch we moan that they don't make good decisions. So I think the more decisions they're making off the pitch, the better their decision making will be on the pitch, because they're used to taking responsibility. So that's all part of it, and there'll be loads of player-led stuff while we're there. We've got a superstar challenge going on as well throughout the week, so there's various sort of physical tasks going on, press up, but also skill challenges, and it'll culminate in the end of the week with the Richmond Park run on the Friday, which even that we're doing a little bit different. So I'm going to split them into groups, and it's going to start sort of at the training ground, and they're going to set off at 15-minute intervals, and we're going to make that a bit of a competition to who can get there first. So yeah.
Sounds interesting. And of course as well, you've got some competitive friendlies coming up as well, yeah?
Yeah, got some good games. We've got Cole Shorten and Woking, which are good games in a different way, because the under-21s have got games on those days, I believe. So we'll be quite young on those games. So they'd be like mentality games to go against teams that are in lower leagues than us but perform that we expect. And then we've got Crystal Palace, Swansea, and Fulham, which are different kind of games where obviously I want us to go and perform and put our stamp on the games and play our football.
You've got a new squad coming together, some very promising under-16s that are going to be a part of that, but yeah, also it does mean you can make way for that. There's other young players that you've worked with over the years that have had to move on now, yeah?
Yeah, so obviously, we know the lads that got pro contracts, but a few of the lads got released, obviously didn't make contracts, so Tom Miles, Dean Pirana, Gray Evans, Ethan Nelson, and Tino Carpini. So we've done everything we can to help those boys, and it's important we remember them, especially in the case of players like Gray, Tino and Ethan, been at the club a long time, you know, and anyone who met Great selling programmes know what a great lad he is. They're proper Wimbledon boys, and we've already helped them. You know, Great is wanted by Sutton, down with Ricky Wellard there in the under-21s. I think Tino, I believe, is looking to sign for Met Police first team, which is a good move for him. And Ethan, again, is really wanted by Ricky down at Sutton. And you know, you look at player, Ethan's was with us since he was 11 years of age, and he was actually our first pre-scholar that we signed. So when we become a pro club at 14, he was the first pre-scholarship we offered. And at the time, you know, Ethan was a player that was being looked at by a lot of big clubs. So, you know, they're a part of our academy history that he was loyal to us and signed for us. So even though things haven't quite worked out what we wanted, they're you know, as I said, they're proper Wimbledon boys, and you know, we look after them as much as we can.
And you mentioned Ricky Wellard there. We went to see him a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's important for you to keep that sort of after sort of situation with the players in the community to see that they carry on with their football even when they leave Wimbledon. Yeah.
Yeah, massively. I mean, Ricky, you know, got in touch when he got into coaching. So you know, I've always gotten well with Ricky when he was here as a player. So yeah, we're in touch regularly, and at the end of the season, he comes down and watches our games, and any lads that he can take into Sutton, and he's already taken a few, like David Omperon and Judah Chapman went down there and doing very well. So yeah, you know, as we said, I stay in contact with all our ex-players as much as possible, and as I said, they're Wimbledon lads, they're always welcome here, and it's important that we sort of look after their next steps.
The final thing we've got to touch upon in this roundup for the summer here as well, we'll talk to Jeremy Sawyer no doubt at length later on, but yeah. Eric Samuelson mentioned the other day we passed our audit. How important is that?
Yeah, massively important. As I say, I don't want to steal Jeremy's thunder because I'm sure you'll speak to him at length, but no, really, really important. Obviously really pleased. There's a few things that, you know, have been recommended like there always is, but from a coaching perspective, the football side of things, obviously it really pleases me that we're doing what we need to be doing from a coach's point of view, and then we just look, you know, Jeremy will look at the recommendations and stuff and make sure that we keep kicking on to the next level.